Hi, I'm Rachel Price and welcome to my podcast, Not Just Making the Tea, a show where we discuss the realities of our career and life choices whilst made at school and college. It's all about celebrating the parts that don't go to plan as much as those which do. With every chat, we explore what life skills there are to be learnt and how they can influence and help us to succeed. This season, the focus is on key skills and the attributes which we all need to be more successful in our everyday lives. I hope that you enjoy listening, find the topics thought-provoking and maybe even entertaining, and that they add some positive vibes to your day. So on that note, let's get started with today's topic. Doing what you love and living a life that you love is not the same thing. One of the most common phrases we all hear whilst choosing career or areas to study is that you should choose something that which you love to do. We've all heard it, that when you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But is that actually really true? And if it is true, is this really the best piece of advice that we can give young people to look at when starting their career or choosing their study options? We're also told that money isn't everything, which is absolutely true, but having it certainly does play a significant part in what kind of lifestyle you could hope to have. Of course, making a living by doing what you love is pretty much everyone's dream, but would you still love that career if it didn't give you the lifestyle that you wanted? Doing what you love and living a life that you love are just not the same thing. And that's the biggest reality check I've had to face when entering the job market, even now 30 years on. For example, let's say you love children and you love helping others, so you decide to become a teacher. Before anything else, I realise that I've been in the education system for over 20 years, but I do have to say that teaching is an incredible profession and truly noble career. You would be hard-pressed to find a job that's more fulfilling than teaching. However, let's say that you also love to travel, experience different cultures and see the world. Are you going to be able to do that on a teacher's salary? Unfortunately, the financial reality says that you most likely won't. While this is by no means true for every teacher, and finances include far more than just your main source of income, whether it's savings, part-time jobs, partners, etc., it's a good general assumption that most teachers aren't able to live a lifestyle that includes large expenses, such as lots of travels to exotic places. But now let's look at it from the other side. You have the vision of your perfect lifestyle. You want a nice house, expensive car, and money to travel the world. So you pursue a high-paying job in the corporate world. As most of us know, being at the top of the corporate world doesn't happen overnight. Most of your early years, and to be honest, the majority of your career, will consist of late nights, early mornings, and maybe sometimes even falling asleep at your desk. After a few years, you might be financially comfortable as you want, but will you have had the free time and the flexibility to really enjoy it? Will it be worth it if you have less time at home or with your friends or your family? But now let's look at it from the other side. You have the vision of your perfect lifestyle. You want a nice house, expensive car, and money to travel the world. So you pursue a high-paying job in the corporate world. As most of us know, being at the top of the corporate world doesn't happen overnight. Most of your early years, and to be honest, the majority of your career, will consist of late nights, early mornings, and maybe sometimes even falling asleep at your desk. After a few years, you might be financially comfortable as you want, but will you have had the free time and the flexibility to really enjoy it? Will it be worth it if you have less time at home or with your friends or your family? So what is the solution to this dilemma? How do we find the middle ground here? What's the solution to this dilemma that we all have to face at some point in our lives? If not once, but several times over. Honestly, there's no one-stop answer for this question. But one thing we can do to help meet in the middle is to stop telling people to do what they love. Figuring out what you love to do is a great starting point, but it's absolutely not the be-all and end-all, and neither is your salary. What we should start asking ourselves is, what do I love to do that will give me a life that I actually enjoy living? And then to understand that it doesn't have to be one or the other. I certainly wouldn't want to encourage the idea that you're either working a low-paying job with plenty of meaning or a high-paying job without fulfillment. That's so far from the truth. You can absolutely be a teacher and still travel. After all, teachers have a summer vacation which gives them more time off than most corporate jobs typically do. And on the other hand, there are plenty of people working their way up the corporate ladder and still spending time with their families and friends. And there are plenty of other careers and professions that have similar factors as these two. What I'm trying to say is that by focusing on the aspects of a profession rather than the specific job itself, it can help you find what the middle ground is. And to figure out those aspects, we should encourage people to think about the lifestyle that they'd love to have and then the things that they need to do to get there. Maybe, just maybe, if we start by narrowing down what we're looking for as far as a lifestyle, then we'll have a better chance of finding a career that gives us both. This isn't an easy task by any means, and of course sacrifices will still need to be made. Money is not everything, but it does matter more than we like to think. And, as an older adult still figuring things out, here's the one piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Choose your lifestyle, your values and your goals, and your career path and career choice will follow. So that's our topic for today. I hope you found it interesting and helpful. Thank you for taking the time to listen. If you've enjoyed this episode, then subscribe and get new episodes sent to you weekly. You can do that for free via Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast and more. I appreciate everybody who takes the time to listen, so please do subscribe, like, tell your friends and send me any comments and feedback. Also, check out the Instagram page, Not Just Making the Tea, for more information and updates. For activities and resources, check out the Learning Hub on educationyala.com and subscribe. Thank you once again, keep safe, chat soon. Have a great day.